Boa tarde, meu povo! Today is another beautiful day in the neighborhood. And I got some good news today. As you know, in my last episode, I had 3 pieces of bad news. But things are looking better today. What's different? Well, I've made a decision. I am moving back to the small city in the interior of the state of Bahia. It's about 3.5 to 4 hours away by ferry boat and topique, which is a large van. I used to live in this small city. It's called Santo Antonio. And I'm only moving back there for 4 months. 4 months maximum. That will be November, December, January, and February. And my reasoning is this. My brother-in-law, Eliamar, owns several apartments in his city. And I am going to move in to one of the apartments that he owns where his, a 2-bedroom apartment that his daughter, Elsie Mata, currently lives in. And she and I are going to share the apartment together just for 4 months. And I will have my own bedroom and bathroom. It's an ensuite bedroom. And it's in a brand new condominium. There's a swimming pool. There's a garden in the front so I can garden. And of course I'm going to take the cat. So my reasoning is that I'm feeling some pressure. Now suddenly go out and find an apartment here in Salvador. Eliamar's not around to help me, and it's going to make it harder. That's reason number 1. And reason number 2, which is more important reason, is that by moving back to Santo Antonio for a month, it's going to give me an opportunity to save some money, which I really need to do. Because I don't like living on the financial edge like I have been. And in Santo Antonio, I'll be able to save 3,000 or 4,000 reais a month. Why? I will be paying rent there, but it is going to be only about 1/3 of what I'm currently paying on my apartment here in Salvador. Life is much, much less expensive out there in the interior of the state of Bahia. And there are not nearly, by any way, shape, or form, as many distractions in the form of things to spend money on out there. So it's a very quiet life, but that's okay. It's just for 4 months, and I can take that knowing that I have a goal in mind, which is to move back to Salvador in the beginning of March, right after Carnival. Carnival time, January, February, the city turns very expensive, rents double and triple, and then once Carnival ends, in the month of March, things get back to normal and rents get a lot cheaper. And I'll have some financial breathing space. Right now, if I pay first and last month's rent, it's going to leave me with almost nothing. And there are always additional expenses of one kind or another when you move into a new apartment. So it'll be much easier to do all this in March when I have some savings, some real savings. So that's the plan. Eliamar, God, it's beautiful today. Look at that. Sun reflecting off the water. Eliamar's going to come into Salvador on the last day of this month and pick me up. He's going to borrow his father's car, and I'm going to put into the car as much as I possibly can. I'm not obviously going to be able to take a lot with me. I don't have very much furniture because my current apartment came furnished, but I do have things like a couple bookcases, lots of books, some framed pictures, lots and lots of decorations. So I'm going to have to cull my belongings down get rid of some of them. Maybe if I can find a place to store them. I asked my cuñada, sister-in-law, who lives across the street. She has a large 3-bedroom apartment. If I could store some in her storeroom, but unfortunately she's moving too. She's finding her apartment to be too expensive, and so she's going to be looking for a less expensive apartment. So storing things in her apartment is not an option, but that's okay. One of my main ideas, amongst many, was that, making this move, leaving San Francisco and moving to Brazil, was to become a minimalist, to not be tied down, weighed down by things. And I did not keep my word to myself. I have acquired a lot of things. Nothing like what I had in San Francisco when I left, but still, it's too much. And so this will be an opportunity to drastically reduce my belongings and get back to the idea of being a minimalist. A minimalist doesn't mean that I don't own anything. It's just that it's pared down to the bare minimum, only the things that I really love, and things, most importantly, to have the ability to up and make changes, to move at a moment's notice and not be burdened by so many things. So that is the good news, and I'm looking forward to it. Oops, I put my finger into the frame. Gotta stop doing that, Michael. Uh-oh, look at me, I'm being bad. I'm having acai, but it's hot out there. Look at me, eating my acai with this fabulous view of the sunset. Yes, this is heaven. It's dusk. This is my favorite time of day for walking. The air is fresh and clean, and the temperature is just right. Not hot, not chilly, but perfect. The light is perfect. Everything's perfect around this time of day. People are out walking. They're gotten off of work, and it's just a very, very nice time for my late afternoon walk. And of course, when I move to San Antonio in 3 weeks, I am going to miss this a lot, because while I do walk in San Antonio, there are no pretty or pleasant places to walk, nothing like this. It's inland. The cityscape is not very attractive. It's not the kind of place that you really want to film, but I always must remind myself that it's only for 4 months, and I'm not stuck there every day of those 4 months. I can travel back into Salvador when I want to. I can go into other towns and small cities in the region, such as Cachoeira, Santo Amaro, and others that are slipping my mind right now, Nazaré, etc., etc. So I'm going to try to make the 4 months that I live out in San Antonio as productive and peaceful as possible, and then come back into Salvador after Carnival with savings, ready to find a new apartment and have breathing space financially. So it's all going to be good. This is going to be a short video today. I just wanted to share that news with you. I'm going to sign off now and continue my walk towards home. Thanks for joining me. Boa noite e beijos. Ciao. See you in the next episode, people. Ciao.